Bear Bryant's legacy runs far and deep. Mention Alabama, people think football. In 1960, a young basketball grad assistant was hired. And in the 32 years since, Wimp Sanderson has had to deal with that perception. In 1980, he became head coach. And in '85, the basketball coach actually inherited the Bears' old office. The grad assistant wouldn't have had it any other way. Quietly and assuredly, he began to make people at the Capstone appreciate his sport and its success. They've watched the Tide reach the Sweet 16 5 of the last 7 years. That doesn't mean the hurdles don't remain. They do. Tonight's in the form of a 7-foot 1-inch frame. That frame belongs to Shaquille O'Neal, but he'll have to deal with the thousands on hand at the beloved Plaid Palace as the 9th-ranked Alabama Crimson Tide of Coach Wimp Sanderson take on the Fighting Tigers of LSU. We are live in Tuscaloosa. You see the LSU aggregation, the starting lineup for the Tigers. It has changed because of Pugh. Back in the starting lineup, Vernell Singleton may be a catalyst. He gets junk baskets underneath, can really help Shaquille O'Neal. He's overlooked many, many times for Dale Brown's club. Now in his 20th year, Coach Brown has been to 2 Final Fours in the decade of the 80s, both in '81 and in '86. 15 consecutive non-losing seasons for that man from Minot, North Dakota. The Alabama Crimson Tide look this way, and they've got more depth than usual for Wimp Sanderson. Robert Horry, clearly the most improved player down along the blocks in the Southeastern Conference and perhaps the country. And obviously he's a man that must check Shaquille O'Neal. Wimp Sanderson, 32 years at this school. He's been the head man for 12 years, 14-1 coming in, 2-0 in conference play. Tournament titles 3 consecutive years. Now, Conley's calls. How do they look for this one?
Let's take a look here. You got to have the Shaq attack from front to back. Very important. He gets up and plays the whole way. The guards have got to find, somebody who can click in the backcourt. For Alabama, utilize that team quickness. Very quick at every position. They've got to apply defensive pressure in the backcourt. That's what these two clubs have to do to win tonight. And somebody is going to give it up.
Conley, we're making headlines again. You see the series record. Alabama 75-51 in the Dale Brown era, 3-16 at the Plaid Palace.
Jimmy, let's keep an eye on it right now. They're starting out man-to-man. Alabama is. They've got such great quickness at every position. It's a good club, and immediately LSU goes inside.
The quick hands of Robert Horry knocking it away from O'Neal.
I think the obvious game plan is to go to O'Neal as quickly and as often as you can.
Justin Anderson will trigger it in. Singleton driving. He's a slasher. That's his trademark on the offensive end.
And Tim, one of the most underrated players in this conference.
Nice stuff down. Sprewell and Perry working. Latrell Sprewell ties the game at a deuce. Those hands in the way again, and O'Neal turns it over.
Tim, when I talked about quickness, not only on the offensive end, but the defensive end, where it's probably more important. Robert Horry, very quick with his feet. Shaquille O'Neal's going to have to be active in that post position tonight, or he's not going to be able to receive that ball. LSU in a 2-3 zone.
Sprewell trying to penetrate. Elliott Washington running the point. A designated starter. You'll see Dennis Miller shortly. Number 12 in white, Washington running the Alabama show. There's James Robinson. Clearly one of the top off guards in the country. Sprewell. That's a 3. It's 5-2 Bama.
Tim, you talk about underrated and unknown. Sprewell's one of those players America's going to hear about.
O'Neal on the offensive glass, where most of his offense has come from. We may have a foul prior to the shot. At the very least, whistle to stop play, and John Clockerty talking with Wimp Sanderson.
You know what I think he's warning him about? He's telling him to tell the players to sit down. He doesn't mind the coach getting up, but he wants the players to stay on the bench.
So a warning being given to Sanderson and the bench. Remember, they can assess the technical on the bench, and it can be attributed to the coach. If he gets 2, he can be gone. We've seen that already occur in the Southeastern Conference over the weekend.
Tim, we've got a microphone hanging loose underneath the basket up here right now.
This isn't the first time Shaq has taken it to the rack and given a backboard or a rim a little difficulty through the course of the game.
Well, I've heard of getting mic time, but this is ridiculous.
Somebody's got a stepladder up there now. O'Neal literally tore down a rim at the Olympic Festival in Minneapolis back in 1990. Did the same thing earlier this year in a purple and gold game in the preseason.
He just wants that mic. That's what he wants. He's kind of like you. He wants airtime, I guess. Watch it again. Here's O'Neal going up strong with the basketball. Watch him come down. Nobody from Alabama is going to challenge this. Nobody wants to reach in because they know there's nothing they can do about it.
Shaquille has been heard from already.
Anderson doing now a little bit of a different look. Anderson's hounding Ori on a 1-4.
Sprewell pops out. Singleton again. Now, this is an area where Sanderson's staff is concerned. Singleton getting rebounds. Alabama, if they have an Achilles heel, Larry, is rebounding on the defensive end, as you see Dennis Miller coming into the game, as we aforementioned, for Elliot Washington.
Tim, the thing I want to watch right here, look at Anderson now on Ori. They're using a zone everywhere else, and Ori trying to beat Anderson by himself.
Ori follows, and Shaquille rejects him.
We'll see a few block shots tonight.
There's the alley-oop, and Shaq takes it to the rack gingerly.
Tim, he is out of the gate. This guy he's focused tonight. He was not focused on Saturday. He is playing much better tonight. Started the game than he was against Arkansas in Baton Rouge on Saturday.
Have you ever seen Brown more businesslike prior to a tip?
Never seen his club more serious.
Again, O'Neal knocks it free, and Singleton clears for LSU. You talk about cause games early in the season. For LSU, this is a cause game.
You hate to pinpoint one game in January and say it's a turnaround game, but I think it is for LSU.
Caesar drains a three. Clarence Caesar, freshman from Iowa, Louisiana, and Iowa High School. That was way too strong. O'Neal gets his third rebound in the first 2.5 minutes.
Alabama staying man-to-man. LSU still wants to get that ball, that 1-4, great backdoor cut, and Anderson lost it.
A lot more movement, a lot more spacing in this LSU set offense with TJ Pugh at the point.
But one of the things they're not getting today that they got on Saturday, the press by Arkansas really hurt them. They're not getting pressed tonight. They're getting into their half-court offense and being able to run it a lot easier. Unless Alabama comes out and puts more pressure on them, LSU's going to get that ball inside, and that's where their strength is.
Arkansas's 40 minutes of hell really took control the last 4 minutes of the game in Baton Rouge. Here's Caesar. Another tray for the freshman.
Did you come to praise him?
12-5. The Tigers by 7. They are ready. Dennis Miller, junior transfer from Kankakee Community College. Andre Perry. Singleton with a rebound. One and done for Alabama.
Tim, it looks like Dale Brown may be using one of those strange defenses he has. I'm not sure if it's the freak where he's got two guys man-to-man in the other three zone.
Singleton with hang time, but he missed the chippy. Robinson on the loose.
Nice pass.
Dump down again to Perry.
O'Neal was really slow getting back, Tim. If he's there, he's got that one blocked.
Another nice pass by Latrell Sprewell. Anderson is a three-point threat. He's a bigger threat down there.
LSU can go down there all night long, and unless Alabama puts more pressure on that ball, they're just going to have a wide open inside. It's going to be a shooting gallery in there.
Shaquille has 4. Here's Miller for 3. O'Neal clears it and nearly loses it. Caesar controls. Caesar again down along the blocks. Draws the foul. Robert Horry picks it up. That's his first. Second team foul against Alabama.
Tim, I want to go back and again restate what I said earlier. This team is very focused tonight. They have come out here ready to play. They come with a serious attitude. And I think it really came from the top on down. Dale Brown came out here and made his mind up. This club was going to come in here and play. And they had some tough travel plans today, too.
They really did. They could not get out of Baton Rouge in a charter plane last night, so they wound up having to take a commercial plane. But from New Orleans, they had to take a bus ride to New Orleans, then go to Birmingham and a bus ride to Tuscaloosa today, not arriving until 2 in the afternoon. That only makes the job more tough. Brown loves it that way. Look at that, a whopping 75% for LSU from the floor. Alabama with difficulty down low, 3 out of 11. Andre Perry, way too strong. TJ Pugh comes up with the loose ball.
LSU's defense really bothering Alabama. They're not getting good shots.
Caesar. O'Neal. Too strong, out of bounds, last touched by Alabama. The Tigers will control. Justin Anderson. Too strong, and now Sprewell is on the loose. Jason Caffey just into the game.
Oh, look at Ori.
Robert Ori with the tip in.
That one's a highlight film all in its own.
Sanderson is going crazy, and so is the crowd. And Justin Anderson counters with a tray.
And Alabama went back into a 2-3 zone that time, and Anderson, known as a good stationary shooter, just stuck it. Look at Pugh on Robinson. Everybody else is in the zone. Pugh chasing Robinson. Man to man. There's the cut through. Now watch Robinson go to the corner. Pugh's right with it.
Pretty well. Too strong. TJ Pugh on the loose. Nice pull up, but he missed the chippy. 18-9. Almost 6 minutes deep. Dale Brown couldn't have orchestrated a better start. Ori, the run and jump. Too strong. Singleton knocked it out of bounds. Alabama will trigger it in.
Tim, go back and watch Robert Ori follow up on this shot, on this miss. Watch him come from the left side of your screen. O'Neal thinks he's got a rebound. Look at this follow. Oh, what a strong move. Oh, up in the air.
They'll need more of that tonight from Robert Ori. Any putback is gravy against the Tigers. A much taller and physical front line. Caffey. Perry. Andre Perry. From Detroit, Michigan, and Coffeyville Community College. 18-11 Tigers.
Alabama back in that zone defense again.
Caesar with the lob to O'Neal. Triple teamed and a charge.
Player control O'Neal. They had him surrounded. Ori's down. Take a look at it again. You know O'Neal's like a magnet. He's going to draw the defense when the ball comes to him. Look, 3 white jerseys, 4 white jerseys. Boom, there's the charge. Ori going to the floor. And I'm going to tell you what, he took a shot, too.
Took an elbow.
Look at it again. O'Neal with a move. Now watch the elbow. Bam, right in the chest.
That's an elbow belonging to a 300-pound man. Has to hurt. He's actually scaled down a little bit. He's more like 288, 290.
What is it? For every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction.
That's right. Dennis Miller, woefully short. Singleton dribbled it on the baseline.
Almost an interception that time by LSU, and Ori threw it away.
18-11 our score. Tim Brando, Larry Connolly. Game 2 of Big Ten Southeastern Conference Tuesday on ESPN. Already the Hoosiers won in Bloomington against the Buckeyes. Anderson.
Tim, they can't do that. Alabama cannot sit back in that zone defense and allow Anderson to stand in that corner and shoot those shots. He is a great outside jump shooter. That's why Dale Brown got it.
Out of Cal Irvine, a transfer.
And that's something LSU can't do, is allow Sprewell to go up and down.
Sprewell gets the hoop. Dale Brown a little concerned because the clock operator and the scorekeeper is having difficulty keeping track.
I think they're just debating the shot by Anderson down underneath, whether it was a 3 or a 2.
Wimp is a little upset that they stopped play and that Brown got out of the coaching box. But it was a correctable error, and a coach does have that option whenever there's a correctable situation.
Well, the problem was the official didn't give the signal.
Yeah.
The shot was there, and they credited it, but they didn't give the signal.
Caesar, too strong. Sprewell clear. Foul away from the ball against Justin Anderson, working against Robert Horry. First foul against Anderson. Only the second team foul committed by LSU.
We've had an up and down game, haven't we?
We really have, without the pressing. A controlled up and down game.
Yeah, it really has been. Look at that. They snuck one in the back door. Andre Perry wide open. O'Neal went to sleep.
21-15. Alabama down by as many as 12 at the outset, making a mini run.
And Alabama's zone's got to be a lot more active. Good dish inside to O'Neal. He's got to kick it back out.
Way too strong, but again, a second chance coming for LSU. If they rebound, they have a chance. There's a steal by Sprewell. Here they come at their beloved Plaid Palace. Four on three, Sprewell the trigger. Fouled by Pugh.
Alabama on a big run. They've gotten back in this game. It's been the inadequate shooting on the baseline by LSU, but it's been the running of Sprewell and the handling of the ball on the break that's gotten them back. Look at Sprewell on this steal. He got it from Pugh, and he's going to take it the length of the floor. Jimmy, I love this. Watch this up in the air. Oh, these guys are athletic.
Stay tuned. We got a curtain call coming up. 7-4 LSU. Up by 8 with 4:50 to play. Wimp Sanderson's team struggling. Robert Horry averaging 15.5 points per game, and James Robinson averaging 19.8 have a collective 2 points in the first half of this game. Shaq has 13. Shaquille O'Neal, but the good news for Alabama, he's on the bench with 3 fouls. Gert Hammock has come into the game. There he is posting up, playing the two-man game with Caesar on the wing. TJ Pugh starting for an injured Jamie Brandon in the backcourt. Caesar too strong. Jason Caffey pulls it away for Alabama.
It'll be interesting to see if Alabama can take advantage of O'Neal on the bench.
The iron unkind to Sprewell. Out of bounds, control to Alabama. Without Latrell Sprewell, they'd be in deep trouble, and Shaquille O'Neal came out with fire tonight.
He really did, Tim. He was, as I said early on, he was so focused. He came into this basketball game ready to play. A very serious-minded LSU club. TJ Pugh with a big steal.
Pugh has made a difference at the point as well. He is not a shooter. That's one of the reasons Brandon has been at the point position for Coach Brown so far this year.
Robinson, a little shake and bake.
To Perry. Singleton trying to keep it alive, never touched it. LSU will get it. They're filled to capacity here at Coleman Coliseum. Second consecutive sellout. Last Wednesday, Alabama with an emotional 2-point win here against Arkansas. Then the Hogs took out their woes on LSU over the weekend in Baton Rouge, and now Dale Brown trying to prove to the conference and to the country that his team belongs. As you see, Jason Caffey coming out of the game. Cedric Moore coming in for the first time. Number 51 checking in for Alabama.
Alabama with full court pressure. LSU struggled against Texas and against Arkansas on pressing defenses. Wimp Sanderson wants to try a little of his own.
Hammock. That has been a problem for LSU all year. Rather than taking the shot at the top of the key, Larry, electing to drive to the basket, they've really turned the ball over a great deal as a team in that respect.
Well, certainly from a team standpoint, that might be true, but with Gert Hammock, there's really no reason for him to take the ball one step closer to the basket. Just shoot the shot.
37-29. Some excitement on Tuesday. 37-29 with 3:47 remaining in the first half. Tim Brando, Larry Conley on Big Ten SEC. Oh, by the way, Miami gets their first Big East win Tuesday.
We're happy to have everybody back.
Hey, we want to keep them all happy. And believe me, Leonard Hamilton, formerly a Kentucky assistant, is very happy tonight. Our congratulations to him.
There's a man not happy right now. That's Wimp Sanderson. LSU came out, started the game in a big fashion. Shaquille O'Neal got him out of the gate, and they haven't let up yet. He's on the bench now, though, with 3 fouls.
Dale Brown has had a penchant for games of cause, games of emotion, and Coach Brown in this storyline loves what he sees, although O'Neal with 3 fouls is something he'd rather not see. But from the floor, 47% put back opportunities and control of the glass a key. Alabama getting points in the paint, but they don't get second chance opportunities. And Robinson and Ori, a collective 2 points. This from 2 men that averaged 36 points between them for the Crimson Tide.
Tim, I got to believe right now that Dale Brown is probably going to be a little more patient on offense, not push the ball up the floor with O'Neal sitting on that bench. If he gets it back, he'll use some clock.
Craig Karst by his side as chief assistant. We'll set the lineups for you. Mike Hansen in the game in the backcourt, along with Singleton, Caesar, Maurice Williamson, and Harold Boudreaux down in the paint area. Gert Hammock picking up that charge, and Brown decides to go small against Alabama. Oh, Cedric Moore on the blocks, quick to the basket.
Nice look inside also by Robert Ori.
Out of Woodlawn High School in Birmingham, Alabama.
Robert Ori not only is a second leading scorer, he's got 39 assists. He leads his club in assists. How about that for a forward center?
He's really improved in the past year. Singleton just threw that one up, retrieved by Ori. Under 3 minutes to play. O'Neal saddled with 3. Robinson throws it away.
I think that was a pass. That was not a shot.
Hansen, Singleton. Now there it is. That's the charge. That's what LSU has been guilty of as a team. A 4-on-1 break. That kind of turnover is what will give any coach, including Dale Brown, a lot of gray hair.
Tim, not only that, they lose the opportunity for the 2 points, and Singleton picks up the foul. Robinson with great defensive position. Look at this. Here's the good bounce pass by Hansen, but Singleton on it. He could avoid this right here. He was there. I mean, there's no question about it.
It's as if they make up their mind to dunk 3 steps from the hoop. Robinson takes advantage. Singleton is a senior. Should know better.
LSU back in what looks like one of those freak-type defenses right now.
Boy, he's been very effective in changing defenses in the first half, as Coach Brown. Moore over Caesar.
He got it over Boudreaux with a tough shot.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a tough lob.
He and Caesar were both there. A 6-0 run for the Tide, and here comes the crowd.
Alabama straight man-to-man, half-court pressure.
There's the type of turnover that they've been guilty of, throwing it away. Robinson.
Well, great handle.
Away from the ball, John Clougherty spots a foul against Jason Caffey. That'll be his 3rd. UConn rolling along in the Big East. Boston College with a win against the Friars. That game being played at Chestnut Hill. John Saunders and Jim Valvano coming up at halftime.
We're in the swing of college basketball. We're in the middle of it. You know what I like about January? You get back in the family. All the conferences, everybody gets back in here. All the personalities start to come out. And we've got 2 of the better ones in this league here tonight.
Really do. 2 teams that will undoubtedly be there at the dance by year's end.
Tell you one thing, I would not want to face either one of these clubs in mid-March.
Rock Williamson, Maurice Williamson, who's a streaky shooter. 40-33. Williamson, since coming into the game, with 3 points. Nice work inside for Andre Perry.
On a great pass by James Robinson. A bullet right down the lane.
Andre Perry saving the day, Larry. He has 17 points in the first half. All the points that you'd expect Ori or Robinson to have.
What makes this club good? They can reach down and grab somebody different every night.
Williamson off the dribble. Caesar keeping it alive.
Nice rebound by Caesar.
Again, Sanderson's major concern, and it's come to fruition tonight.
Cannot tell you how much better this LSU team looks today than they did on Saturday. They have come out ready to play.
There's another steal. The turnover problem again. Maurice Williamson picks up the foul. Protecting the ball, and Dale Brown will give Mo Williamson a piece of it now. You've got to protect the ball, and that's what Brown is pointing out to Maurice Williamson.
Andre Perry, what a game he's having tonight. You know, the first 6 games of the season, he was averaging 6 points a game. The last 9, he's averaging 13. Take a look at these turnover woes. I talked about this, Tom, at the beginning of the show, or Tim. You take a look at what they've done. They're the assistant turnovers of this group. They've had all kinds of problems in those 6 games.
Andre Perry, what a performer he's been. He's really, Larry, I think the typical Alabama forward. Big, strong, runs the floor well. And capable of pouring them in if called upon. That's what he's done tonight.
Well, he's a junior college player. He's a guy that has come out and played extremely well. He's a downtown Detroit kid, a good player.
The points off turnovers, that's the real factor. And LSU's committed already 9, averaging over 20 per game this year.
I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to credit Hanson and Williamson and Pugh with really taking charge of this club, and O'Neal's leadership on the inside.
Guys that have appreciable minutes from last year's team, really part of the reason they were ranked number 6 in the country coming in, that really haven't played as much lately. They are a factor tonight. Singleton driving to the basket with authority.
Good pass by Hanson.
42-35. Robinson, the alley-oop. Ori fouled. No, he took steps with only a second remaining. 1/10 of a second remaining. Saunders and Valvano with the return of Funderburk, seen earlier tonight, and Little Louis sweater contest. Well, they had Wimpa-like night here in Tuscaloosa last year. Why not a Carnesecca sweater contest? We cover all the bases. Dale Brown's covered the bases. His team is focused, looking for the upset on the road against the 9th-rated Tide in the Southeastern Conference. Look at that. Second chance points for LSU. Clearly, Wimp Sanderson's problem coming in, Larry. He knew he could not board with LSU. So far, he's been up to it. Normally, we hear Wimp Sanderson say, hey, we can't get it done. You sometimes wonder if he's playing possum. To this point, he was right on.
Yeah, but Tim, I think the most important stat of that first half was the fact that Alabama did not shoot the ball very well. And I give LSU's defense and what Dale Brown was to throw out there a lot of credit.
You had it called at the very outset. Take a look at Conley's call at the top of the telecast. Larry Conley told you at the very outset that this ball game would come down to LSU's ability to board and keep from having the turnover problem, and that Shaq had to attack. He's done that.
He's done that, and also they have found the guards that have clicked. The guys that have come off of that bench have played extremely well. They have not missed Jamie Brandon at all. Terrific play by this LSU triumvirate.
An ankle injury yesterday, then long bus rides, travel difficulty all day long. LSU only getting to Alabama about 1 this afternoon. Brown was fire and brimstone on those bus rides.
Whatever he was, he did the right thing. You got to save some of it for the rest of the year because they played a great first half.
James Robinson, scoreless for the first time in his career in 1 half, gets his first 2. 42-37. Justin Anderson on the loose. O'Neal with a follow slam.
Or he went to help, and when he did, he left the big guy open. Down and in.
Robinson dumps it to Perry. Andre Perry has kept the Crimson Tide in it.
Tim, the way that O'Neal started the first half, Robinson is starting the second half. He got a basket right out of the gate. A nice pass here for an assist.
James Robinson picks up the foul, away from the ball. Scoring leaders, you expect O'Neal. Clarence Caesar came out hot, cooled off the last portion of the first half. Perry and Sprewell combining for 29, and Ori and Robinson, who averaged 36 between them, only 2.
Here comes that pressure again by Alabama. I think you're going to see a lot more of that in the second half. The Tide's going to come out and pick LSU up, try to get them man-to-man.
O'Neal off the dump down. Ori's quickness gets in the way. A 4-on-3, and he passed it right to Pugh. O'Neal. Well, that was almost a Freddie Brown to James Worthy, Georgetown, Carolina, 82 Final Four pass at midcourt to the wrong man.
Well, Tim, what happened? Horry just lost the basketball. He just simply gave it up. What he needed to do was give it up about 10 steps earlier.
Kenneth Rice, and the bank is open late for Kenny Rice.
You got to call that. You got to call it.
Anderson lobs. Too strong, but O'Neal gets the deflection. He's fouled. Take a look at this at midcourt, Larry. Does bring back some memories of the Superdome for me.
Watch Horry now, right here. See, he just lost the ball up in the air.
You're right.
It just flopped up in the air, and Pugh picked it up, got it to O'Neal going the other way. Robinson committing the foul as O'Neal goes in for the jam.
Really wasn't a pass. You're absolutely right. Look at the turnover woes.
Those are the games Alabama's had in their problems. You can see what their players have done in key basketball games they've had this year.
The point, though, that comes to mind when you look at Alabama's success ratio for the assist to turnover, Wimp Sanderson's teams have turned it over in games of less consequence than LSU. LSU's schedule against those teams, you just can't afford to turn it over as well.
Well, they were also turning it over at critical times. Anderson from the baseline missed.
Cleared by Sprewell. Robinson over Pugh. Follows his own shot. No one blocked out.
Horry did a good job of screening O'Neal away from Robinson, which allowed him to get the layup.
And another turnover off the full court pressure. Scouting report says come full court and pressure the Tigers. That's exactly what Wimp Sanderson's team has done.
And look what he's doing. He's coming with Hanson and he's coming with Williamson just at the right time. I think this is a good move by Dale Brown, Tim. Get these two guards in here to handle this press and do it now.
This is as close as Alabama has been, trailing by 7 at the half. Perry cannot tie it. And O'Neal claims another rebound. LSU with 11. LSU with 12.
Nice pass by Sprewell.
Brown cannot afford to wait for the TV timeout. Here comes Alabama.
Watch it again. Here's the lob inside. Stolen by Sprewell. Watch this great bounce pass. Right in between two LSU defenders and off the glass for Robinson.
We call it 2 for Tuesday. Alabama calls it an 8-0 run. And Wimp Sanderson's team coming out with a full court press. It has made all the difference as we're tied at 46. Jamie Brandon, normally the point guard, injured, bad ankle. LSU's penchant for turning the ball over beginning to crop up. And a foul, a hand check against Kenneth Rice.
I'll tell you, Dale Brown was off of the bench immediately to help John Clockerty make the call. He's saying he can't put his hands on my man like that. Look, he's showing him. He says, he's holding me. You know what? That time he was absolutely right. He had him.
Dump down, too soft. Caesar turned it over a 13th time. Robinson, yes! They'll wave it off, a charge.
Whip can't believe it.
Some debris being thrown onto the floor now. It was a similar call that went for Wimp Sanderson a week ago and cost Nolan Richardson.
Robert Horry doing a great job down deep inside. O'Neal's got to move to get the ball. He can't stand and wait. It was a great job by Hanson to get the defensive position right there and the charge by Robinson. Good defensive play. Good footwork by Hanson.
Crowd coming unglued and some debris being thrown onto the floor. And there's the familiar Sanderson scowl.
If they ever froze that face, they can scare away everybody on earth.
3 minutes deep into the second half and we're tied. Maurice Williamson in the backcourt along with Hanson.
O'Neal trying to work on Horry again. Horry doing good work inside. There's the lob.
Yeah. Every time it's there, it's just a question of can Caesar get it up high enough on that lob.
But Tim, Shaq's got to move a little bit. He cannot stand there and be stationary to receive that ball. He's got to go meet that pass. Look at that rebound. He lost it.
Could not afford the 4th foul, so he had to give up the unmolested hoop. 48-48.
Just what we expected. A good one. Nice trap by Alabama.
Sprewell.
LSU going to be very patient this trip up the floor, taking care of the basketball. Hanson said, it was my fault the last time. I'll take care of it. They've got to take the crowd out of the game right now. They need the basket.
Why not just go right to O'Neal? Too strong off the glass. Robinson kept alive by Perry. Rice rejected by O'Neal, his third block of the game. A technical on Sanderson. Off the O'Neal rejection. Sanderson was very upset. He let Clougherty know. Debris had already been thrown onto the floor, so in a sense a warning to the crowd and to the bench may have entered into the ultimate technical being called.
But Tim, they've got a lot of ice on the floor right now. They're going to have to clean off. Webb Sanderson's the one who got the technical foul, and he says, yeah, I was the one who caused it. It's my fault.
His team has outscored LSU 15-6 in the second half. Anderson will shoot the technical foul.
Tim, I thought O'Neal made a good block. He was down inside. He got all ball.
There has been a great deal of attention in this conference about coaches and their actions on the sidelines. Already this year, Nolan Richardson has been teed up. Dale Brown has not been teed up as yet this year, but Tommy Joe Eagles got the heave-ho in a game against LSU last week.
O'Neal, a little high post position there. Unusual for him. They need him down underneath. Move the ball around. Now move to get the ball. There it is.
Yeah, he worked right past Ory.
Ory with a block.
Oh, the quick hands again of Robert Ory. Sprewell. Out of bounds. He was out of bounds on the sideline. It happened right in front of Sanderson. Michael Smith made the call. Our officials tonight, John Clougherty, the lead official, Michael Smith and Kerry Sitton. They are becoming a focal point here in the second half. The emotion really taking over, and Brown continues to be composed on his sideline, lobbying and trying to win over the officials as he continues to work on Michael Smith.
Tim, I think Dale Brown has been in complete control of his club tonight. He's been in complete control of himself. This LSU team has come in here ready to play tonight. Alabama right now, the second half, showing a little bit more pressure down in the backcourt. They want that full court pressure to try to get some of those turnovers from the Tigers.
This is not a team that presses with the regularity of a Texas or an Arkansas, but it has certainly worked in the second half to this point against LSU.
Miller in the game now, taking on Hanson as the top.
Foul again, away from the ball. Ory is guilty, and/or Perry, one of the two, off the ball. It is Robert Ory that picks up the foul.
You know, no matter how easy it is to get the ball inside to O'Neal, if you're trying to guard him, you got to make sure you move around that big body. Robert Ory trying to do everything he can to keep that ball from coming in. That time he held O'Neal. Got to try every trick in the book.
3 fouls on Ory. Maurice Williamson picks up a cheapie.
Hey, Tim, you got to get the feeling the referees want to get control of this thing right now, immediately.
Yeah, they do, and the sad part of it, and it's something that they cannot avoid, it has sort of ruined the tempo and the pace of the game. But it's not their fault.
No. I mean, both of these clubs need this win. Alabama can ill afford a loss at home to LSU, and LSU cannot lose to Arkansas and Alabama back-to-back and hope to win that Western Division. Particularly, really put them down.
Particularly with Mississippi State, one of the most improved teams in the country at 10-3. They have to play in Starkville on Saturday. Hand check on Maurice Williamson. If Mo Williamson gives any lip to John Clougherty, he'll be teed up.
I'm going to tell you, it's going to end right now. They're not going to have anything to do with it. It's going to be a clean game the rest of the way, or they're all going to be sitting down.
Maurice Williamson picking up his third means he'll have to come to the pine. Justin Anderson will check out. There will be no room for posturing from either bench or from any of the players. Clougherty is taking control. And you can certainly understand why.
Well, it's dangerous. I mean, ice is hitting the floor out here. There's no cause for that. Get somebody hurt.
Rice works free from Caesar. There's the dump down to Andre Perry. Over O'Neal. Followed by Robinson.
O'Neal did his job. They just didn't get the rebounding on the other side.
Alabama with its first lead. Caesar too strong. Singleton follows. Gets the roll and ties the game at 52. Or he can hit that shot. Not quite there. O'Neal still playing with three and playing smart with those 3 fouls. The outlet to Anderson. A stationary jump shooter from North Dakota.
That's the way you move it.
Dale Brown's home state producing Justin Anderson. He got him from Cal Irvine as a transfer. He's a senior.
Tim, I love the way they moved that ball up the floor on the break that time. Right up the sideline, and Anderson with a nice jumper.
Sprewell to Rice for 3. Alabama doing a better job on the offensive glass. That was a great pass by Horry. Unfortunately, Perry couldn't come up with it. Robert Horry is really proving a point as a passer to the NBA scouts, and there are many of them here tonight to watch him. He's come a long way for Wimp Sanderson from his junior to senior year.
Not only does he lead this club in assists with 39 coming in, but he's also second on this club in steals. He's had a couple inside against O'Neal tonight. Alabama still playing man-to-man, trying to help on O'Neal. Sprewell tried to get there to help Horry. Now he kicks it back out.
Too strong for Caesar, an air ball. He hit 2 in a row to start the game. Since that time, he's had difficulty. Robinson with the extra step.
Tim, right now it looks like Alabama may be the club that has suffered the most out of the last 3 to 4 minutes. LSU's gone up by 3. We were going back and forth tied for about 4 possessions. LSU seems to be under control right now, more so than Alabama.
In a sense, Larry, it ended their pressure. They had come out full court, broke the tempo, and Alabama had control of the tempo at that point.
Hanson with a 3, and they got another one.
Mike Hansen has 3 trays in the game. Look out, SEC. Mike Hansen, the gunslinger, may be returning.
LSU in a straight man-to-man.
Too strong for Sprewell, out of bounds to the Tigers. The Tigers have been outscored 15-6. Robert Horry getting a kick out of the fray, enjoying himself. A far different look from his coach, wouldn't you say? Look at that from the floor. LSU from 3-point range, 9 of 15. That's clearly the difference in the game. Tigers up 6. Caesar again.
3. Another one.
He moved off the wing and up top to drain that one. 61-52. LSU, who led by 7 at the half. Alabama tied it at 50, and the Tigers have now rung up 11 points to Alabama's 2 in the last 2 minutes.
LSU doing a nice job with this matchup zone. Now Caesar out there on Robinson.
Dennis Miller, number 24, in the backcourt now for Alabama. Joined by Robinson, Sprewell, Perry, and Horry for the Crimson Tide. Miller. Dale Brown wanted someone to check him. He's a 3-point threat. 61-55. Just over 11 minutes to play. Horry again, very quick defensively. Caesar works free. O'Neal follows.
What a nice soft touch. Up there about 18 inches above the rim and just let it roll off his fingertips like a feather.
Caesar quickly out to check Dennis Miller this time down the floor.
Now they've got Miller out there checked pretty good. Singleton moved out on him. Hansen's on Robinson. They keep switching back and forth.
This was a mismatch. Robinson over Hansen. Way too strong. He rushed it. Harry. Boy, you got to be impressed with him. Robinson with yet a 3rd opportunity for Alabama. Yes.
Get the rebound, dribble it out to 3, and let her go.
JR from Jackson coming to the forefront. 13 points, all of them in the second half. Foul against Dennis Miller. First foul against Miller. We're only halfway through the second half. A little more sweat off the brow of Sanderson yet to come. Wimp Sanderson ranked 9th in the AP poll coming off a really tremendous week in the Southeastern Conference. Speaking of tremendous basketball, we got some more coming as North Carolina and Wake Forest match up. This is Thursday. Then West Virginia and Temple. Larry Conley will be headed to the city of brotherly love for that one. And then women's NCAA basketball coming up at midnight. Southern California against Stanford. All of that coming up on Thursday evening on ESPN.
Owls and the Mountaineers tomorrow night. John Chaney, Gail Cadley.
Wait a minute, you're traveling there tomorrow.
Yes. It's Thursday. Right, Thursday night. Right.
They all run together.
Right. It's in Tuscaloosa tonight, right?
LSU trying to handle the pressure. Up 4 with over 5 to play. Coming in 7-4, 1-1 in the SEC Western Division. Look at that from three-point range. What a difference for the Tigers.
O'Neal still calling for that ball down inside, and Ori doing everything he can to deny the ball. Boy, what a battle those two have put on tonight.
Hansen drives. He can shoot, and he does.
Hey, you want to talk about heroes tonight? You might want to throw Mike Hansen into that group, too.
I think you have to look at Hansen, Justin Anderson, Kurt Hammock off the bench, Maurice Williamson. Hansen picks up the foul.
We talked about the battle down on the inside. The two guys that are the biggest on the floor. Watch O'Neal trying to spin on Ori. Now watch Ori trying to deny the pass from the top. Now O'Neal comes back, makes another move. Look how hard he's working down inside, Tim. That's what he needs to do. When he's moving like that, he's as good a player as there is that's ever played this game.
If ever he needed motivation, he had it after what happened last week to LSU. Losing that game to Arkansas. Coming in here with a threat at the end of the week at being 1-3 in conference play. I think LSU has responded to that threat. Robinson, who has 13, all of them in the second half. Vernell Singleton may have picked up a cheapie there. He did.
I almost thought O'Neal was going to pick that foul up because he came from the other side, and I thought he was going to be on the back of one of the Alabama players.
Shaquille O'Neal had 3 at halftime. He has 3 with 4 minutes and 35 seconds
left. They did it again.
O'Neal went to sleep again. Same play.
First half, they got a bucket just like that.
Off that made basket, Alabama with the token pressure, and Hansen operating at the point. Dump down to shot. A turnover. Bounce pass was a little too deep, and O'Neal couldn't come up with it.
Tim, we're talking about those turnovers at crucial times.
There's another one. This time it's Alabama guilty.
Dale Brown says, calm it down. Just take your time.
LSU beat Alabama here for the first time in 10 years last season. It may have been LSU's biggest road victory in the Southeastern Conference. Well, wouldn't be any bigger than this one should they hold on. Caesar forced it. Robinson fouled by Hansen.
That's a pretty good move by Hansen. I'd gone ahead and fouled him too. He was going for the layup. You get him out on the floor. He's going to shoot 1-and-1 instead of 2.
Here's that inbounds pass that has given O'Neal some difficulty.
Tim, look at this. Now, Alabama did this in the first half. They did it in the second half. Look at O'Neal look over his shoulder. How did that guy get in there? Did it again. That's 4 points Alabama's gotten off of the out-of-bounds play from underneath their own basket.
Jim Valvano has raised a point throughout the course of the year, Larry, and I have to agree with him. More people are playing man-to-man on inbounds passes underneath than in past years. In the old days, you used to see a lot of zone. It appeared that time O'Neal was governing an area, not a man.
Well, I'll tell you what, as big as he is, he can take an area up.
The game has changed a great deal, and the coaches are having to respond to the change in college basketball.
Well, but if you got somebody like O'Neal, all you have to do is just turn and face the ball.
Right.
Don't turn your back to the ball. Turn and face the ball if you're going to guard an area inside.
James Robinson brings the Tide to within 2. He has 15. Hansen double teamed again. Alabama turns it up now defensively.
Alabama should not be in an all-out panic press right now. They've got 3:20 left to play. They're only down 2.
A foul off the ball against Robert Horry. Checking O'Neal.
You know what?
That's his 5th.
You're going to foul somebody. That's the guy you want to foul. But you don't want to lose that man, and they have. Alabama's lost him. Watch it again. Horry right here and O'Neal. Closest 2 players to you. I didn't see that one.
There's a little hip-to-hip in the left-hand corner of your screen. A little too active. Well, Robert Horry, who worked so hard to get O'Neal a 5th foul, picked up his 5th in doing so.
Now Jason Caffey's going to replace him. Disappointing night for Robert Horry with only 4 points, but he had a ton of rebounds.
Larry, as we watched this game develop, and even coming in, you could tell that Sanderson was concerned, and rightly so. This is still a game of matchups, isn't it? Some teams match up better against others.
O'Neal just got a great roll. Let's look at it again. Watch Horry's 5th foul. Now, O'Neal trying to work to the other side. There it is. It's the hold. I guess he had him with the left arm, and that's what the official called. Well, I still see movement, though. They're still moving around. 2 big ones for O'Neal.
26 for him as his counterpart sits. LSU by 4, just over 3 minutes remaining. Alabama still has all of its timeouts remaining. And Hansen picks up another one. That's 3 quick fouls he's picked up. 18 fouls against LSU. So Alabama in the 1-and-1. LSU 2 personals away from putting Alabama at the line for 2 the rest of the way. But give Mike Hansen, the young man from Madrid, Spain, the youngster who meant so much to this team, picked up mononucleosis at midseason, never really recovered, Larry. This may be his coming out party in 1992.
Robinson misses the free throw at front end of a 1-and-1. That's crucial. LSU now with a chance to go up by 6 or 7 if they can get a 3.
Hansen trapped. He needs help. 10 seconds, remember. That comes into play. Just barely get it over. Anderson stationary again. Count it for 3.
Oh, that's a big one.
They missed a 10-second call by a second and a half, but they got the 3-pointer. Sprewell driving. Got the feeling on this LSU bench that last 3-pointer by Justin Anderson was huge.
You can believe that. Right now, Alabama is having trouble at the free throw line. Sprewell's going to have to make these to get them back in this game. If they miss now, I'll guarantee you LSU is going to sit on that basketball. LSU needs to do a little bit better job of getting the ball quicker up the floor. Hansen and Singleton trying to handle it by themselves. Take a look at the floor. There are people open, or somebody's got to come up the floor to help them. Big ones for Sprewell right now. She's had a terrific game.
Boy, a number of missed big ones. Oh, they don't get any bigger this late in a game.
2 front end of 1-and-1s. Robinson and Sprewell missed them both.
A foul once again as Alabama turns up the pressure. Sports Center is coming up. Bob Lee, Dan Patrick, more on that Big Ten battle in Bloomington. Can the Cavaliers keep winning? Tom Gugliotta has become a Wolfpack force down on Tobacco Road. All that coming up on Sports Center immediately following our game.
I think Caffey fouled out too. That was his 5th foul.
with 0 points. He and Ori really worked on O'Neal, and in doing so, they both fouled out.
But you know, the guy who stuck around the longest was O'Neal. He had the 3 fouls in the first half. He's taking all the blows, and he's still there, and the other guys are gone.
Alabama forced to go small, bringing Kenny Rice into the game. LSU came in here with a disappointing record without their starting point guard and second leading scorer Jamie Brandon. They have answered the call. Sprewell, baseline, he knocks it home. Bama takes the timeout. They have 2 remaining with 2:20 left in Tuscaloosa. Still a lot of time. Alabama's at home. LSU can still turn it over a few more times. 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in Tuscaloosa. 81-75 LSU over Alabama. Tim Brando, Larry Conley, Wimp Sanderson going to work, and you know what his staff is thinking about. They're thinking about stopping play, putting LSU on the line, and then converting on the other end.
The question then becomes, who do you go after? There's your basketball buddy that you beat yesterday.
You said that. I didn't force it.
Kevin Gray, the assistant for Wimp Sanderson. You guys were out here on a little 5-on-5 yesterday. And you schooled him, right?
Well, we played zone, so right. I had a chance.
You were lobbing those threes, huh?
81-75. Caesar and Singleton and O'Neal would be the 3 you target. They're both 60% or less at the stripe. Just over 2 minutes to play.
Good handle the press that time by LSU. Go back inside. You've got O'Neal.
There's a foul off the ball again. Cedric Moore picking it up. That will put Shaquille at the line. Remember, LSU will get 2 fouls. Now, wait a minute. They're calling those an overrule. They went against O'Neal. Wow. Brown cannot believe it.
Turnaround.
Dale Brown can't believe it. O'Neal gets his 4th rather than going to the line. Hey, that was a late overrule too, Larry.
Yeah, you know, when it first happened, I looked down and Cedric Moore was complaining. He was upset. Then all of a sudden I look up and they're going the other way with it. Now Moore's going to shoot 2 shots.
Both teams are in the double bonus, which means 10 team fouls against both. And any foul means the opposition gets to the stripe for 2 shots.
Watch it again now. Watch Moore on the backside, O'Neal on the front side. I guess they got him for backing him out of there.
Alabama comes up empty again.
That's 4 straight free throws they've missed.
Hansen needs help, gets it from Anderson. Wise choice, pulling it back out. They don't need the shot. They just need time to elapse. Singleton is fouled by Andre Perry. Now, Singleton, 64% at the stripe. As we mentioned earlier, LSU has been guilty of turnover problems this year. They've also been guilty of not hitting critical free throws. Maurice Williamson missed late in the game against Louisville that led to a 3-pointer at the buzzer to give the Cardinals a win in Baton Rouge. So a little bit of everything has gone wrong for Dale Brown, and tonight a lot has gone wrong for that man, Wimp Sanderson.
Yeah, but it's been the big guy in the middle. Give O'Neal credit. He's done everything inside. He's driven away 2 players who've tried to defend him. He just controls that middle.
82-75. Robinson will bring it up and put it up. O'Neal clears. Gets some help. O'Neal playing with 4. Can't knock it home. Dale a little upset with him. Wanted him to bring it back out and not take that shot. Robinson, 3 on the baseline.
Got it back.
Lost it out of bounds. 1:15 is remaining.
All they've got to do is just take care of it and make their free throws.
Both Anderson and Hansen are the guys you'd like to have at the stripe if you're Dale Brown. Justin Anderson, his best free throw shooter at 86%.
think Dale's having a conversation with O'Neal right now, saying, hey, look, we want the ball brought out. We don't want shots right now. Then there's a man who came in here with a purpose, with a mission. And he's done his job here in Tuscaloosa. He's going to get his 3rd straight win against Alabama unless something really bizarre happens.
I read his lips there. He said, if they shoot threes, don't foul. You remember what happened just prior to halftime against Arkansas?
Yeah, Lee Mayberry threw one up from prayer land. He got it in and got fouled.
83-75 as Anderson drained him. Moore over O'Neal. Followed by Perry in a timeout. Alabama has 1 remaining. Still a 6-point game with 54 seconds left. A lot of basketball to talk about. Miami in the Big East winning their first game. You saw some of that in the first half of our game. Leonard Hamilton's team in a low-scoring affair, beating Louis Carnesecca's bunch. In Bloomington, Indiana, a winner. We reset this one for you. Both teams over the limit in fouls. Timeouts remaining 1 each in the possession arrow. And that's critical late in a game, particularly if you do turn the ball over or you're in a situation for a tie ball. LSU would get it.
You get trouble, lob the ball up to the big guy. Just lob it up.
Coach Conley all over it. You've been all over this one. You had it right from the outset with Conley's call. Everything that needed to happen for LSU, short of the turnover problems, which cropped up because of the flow of the game, really went Dale Brown's way.
Well, the key was O'Neal. I mean, he had to come out ready to play right from the first gun, the opening tap, and he has. He's come out here and played the type of game that this All-American and the #1 player in this country should be able to play. He's been terrific tonight.
27 points and 11 rebounds. He's getting better at the stripe, too. You look at his numbers coming in, 56%. But the last 3 or 4 games, he's really improved.
You know, Tim, I think a lot of people do a disservice to this young man. He is a very young kid. I mean, he really is. Yeah, he's got a big body, and he's overwhelming almost in his size, but he's still young in his thinking.
Yeah, he won't turn 20 until March Madness begins. 85-77. Mike Hansen brings it back out. They'll use some clock, and they'll get their free throw shooter, Anderson, at the line.
Oh, it's going to be a race in the Western Division.
Those are the guys that have paid the price on the blocks trying to guard the shack attack. Jason Caffey being one of those. Robert Ory also on the pile.
Tim, I think this just points up really what if you really concentrate and you work at it like this LSU club has of getting ready for this game, they could come out and play with anybody because this is a good Alabama team.
Well, and big Monday and terrific Tuesday, 3 out of 4 road teams have won. And that's supposed to be gravy. Get a road victory. It's almost like a blowout each time out. Perry gets the hoop. Alabama calls its last time out with 26 seconds remaining. Anderson got caught with a push.
5-second call, maybe. Looks like they got 5 seconds. They didn't get it in.
87-79. Robinson will trigger it for Alabama. Sprewell to drive. Kenny Rice. Robinson follows. 87-81, but time running out on the Tide. The baseball pass to Hansen. He'll play keep away. Caesar will drive.
That one should do it.
You could call it the man from Minot on a mission with the shack attack. That's what we saw tonight in Tuscaloosa.
They came in, they played well, and you know what? Their 3rd win in a row over a good Alabama team.
First back-to-back victories in Coleman since his first Final Four team in '81 for Larry Conley. Tim Brando, so long from Tuscaloosa on terrific Tuesday in the SEC.